Hey you guys, in today's video I have my favorite recipe that I want to show you guys. It's chile rellenos. It's pretty easy. There's kind of a lot of steps to it, but it's actually really easy. Super cheesy and delicious. I'm going to show you guys how I do it today.
I needed some non-copyrighted music, but I couldn't find any, so I had to make my own, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
The first thing that we need to do is roast the chilies. I'm using poblano. You can use Anaheim. I've seen people use even the dried chilies before, so really any kind that you want. And I'm putting them on my open flame right here on the stove, but you can also stick them in the oven on broil and just watch them and keep turning them. We're gonna blacken these up. This process could get the house a little bit smoky, so I usually have the fan on and a window open if it gets that bad, but we really want to get the skin charred, and we keep turning them. When I pick out chilies, I try to find the chilies without deep dips in them and try to get them evenly on the side if I can. If not, it's not a big deal, but it just roasts up pretty easy. And then I always save my produce bags for this purpose, and I'm just going to put them in a produce bag and wrap them with a towel so that they can continue to sweat and cook. Okay, so I had these in the freezer, and I have about close to 4 cups of tomatoes. Okay, so I found another piece of tomato that I needed to use. It was hanging out in the fridge, so I cut the bad part off, and I'm going to stick that in there too. And I'm also going to be adding about half of a pretty small onion to here. Just going to put that in there. As well as our garlic.
Ready.
That's a big one. It's sprouted. So I'm gonna add, I think I'll add about this much. So that's 4 pieces, one big one, one small one, 4 pieces of garlic. So I'm going to add about 2 cups of water. Let's see how that's a pretty good amount of water. And we're just going to blend this. We're going to blend this up. Okay, we're going to heat up a little bit of oil. You can use any kind of oil. I think right now I have, I have vegetable oil. I like corn oil, but I think I was trying to save a couple dollars last time I went shopping, so I just went with the vegetable oil. I don't really like it. I know it's not as the healthiest oil, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And actually that's kind of a lot of oil, but that's okay. Okay, I took a little bit of oil out. That was a lot of oil. So, waiting for that to get hot, and this is a perfect time for a coffee break. Okay, so my oil is heated up and my coffee is made. So we're gonna fry this. And go ahead and add a little bit of water to this, maybe like a cup or 2 to get everything out of the blender. So that's about a cup at the bottom here. And we can always add more later on. I'm gonna wait till this fries a little bit before I add the rest of that, the rest of the water from the blender. So now we're gonna go cut the cheese. Okay, so we're really gonna cut the cheese. I have mozzarella, so you can use any kind. It's usually a white cheese, so whatever kind that you have will be fine. Mozzarella or whatever. I'll just stop talking now. And so I'm cutting them to about this size. And this for me just makes it easier to add as much as I want into the chilies. I thought I had another cheese that size. That's kind of weird because I was going to make pizza too. I don't know why I would have this small 1-pounder. So you can just cut them however's easiest for you. These are actually pretty small. Okay, so now that the cheese is cut, hoping that'll be enough, we're gonna go skin our chilies. So, I've only been sweating for a little bit, but if you just let your water go a little bit like that, the skin should peel off pretty easily, just like this. And if it doesn't all come off, that's okay. It's just a little bit rougher of the skin in your mouth, kind of like the tomato peels, but I don't really mind the tomato peels. This one is tougher than that, so you can definitely tell if you have like an uncooked piece, but it's not going to ruin dinner. So it peels off just pretty easy, just like that. If you're sensitive to chilies, you know, you could use a fork or whatever. I've never really had a problem with this. And then what you want to do is, usually there's like a soft piece, so I just put my finger through like that and slice it down the side, and then I'll go in like this, reach in and get that little seed clump, it's usually bigger, and pull it out, and the veins too if you want. So that one actually didn't really have too much. And you can rinse the chilies out too, you don't have to, and just set them aside. So I will show you again. This just slides off. I'm just sliding it off. Super easy. These less charred pieces you might have to peel off, but that's when you sweat it, it helps release it. So this is, you can see how easy this is coming off. Just like that. All these little charred pieces. And that's why too, when you're looking for the chilies, it's easier to get the ones with the smoother sides, just so that it gets the flame in there. You could also put this on broil. So, okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm opening it up, and I'm grabbing that little seed pod and pinching it, and then pulling it. If there's a couple of seeds left behind in there, it's fine. It's totally fine. And set that down, and I'll keep doing these. Okay, so real quick, here is the check of the salsa, and it looks like it is definitely had a color change. You can see that it still has some of the lighter color right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of our water from the salsa, from the blender. And there's just a little bit more in there, and I'll stir that up. I also forgot to put some cilantro. I just have a little bit of stems that I need to use, so I'm adding a small little handful in there. Maybe I'll just half it, so that way the kids don't complain. But anyways, the stems are good to give flavor. So And then we're gonna go stuff our peppers. Okay, so we have our chilies, and this is really easy. You're just gonna put the cheese in there, like that, and we'll set it aside. And it closes up like that. If you wanna add more, you can. You know what, yeah, I'll go ahead and add more. You just wanna make sure that, like this one, has a little split right there, so it might kind of start squirting out. Sometimes I just overlap it like this. If you could see that, I'll tuck this part in and I'll overlap it like that. And we'll set that to the side. Maybe I'll add a little bit more of cheese in here. I'll add one of these skinny ones. And this is the poblano pepper, but you could definitely do this with the Anaheim chili, or even any kind of chili. Yep, any kind of chili. So that one is giving me a little bit of trouble, but I'm still just gonna try to wrap it on itself. And we'll get through these. Like that. And these poblano are not usually too spicy. I think there is a spicy one in here. So just don't touch your eyes after you do this, immediately after. Or wear gloves if you want to. So I'm gonna try to make this shape here, so that way it's skinnier at the bottom but fatter at the top, kind of like following the shape of the chili, like that. And then I'll just try to keep a close eye on that. Here's another one. It's very short, so I'll probably just break this in half and shove it in the side there, and do that again and shove this in there. I don't know if I touched my eyes or what happened, but my eyes are stinging right now. So just kind of like follow the shape of the chili, just like that, like a little pocket. This one's gonna be super cheesy. It's gonna be delicious. This is our last one. I probably should have made more chilies. This is one of my favorite meals. Again, I'll just break this up and put that in there. This one's nice and closed at the bottom, so I'm gonna try to get the cheese all the way to the bottom in there. So that one looks, still want to make sure it kind of closes a little bit. So it looks good. I think these are all pretty cheesy. I think I'll add a little bit more in here. Looks good. Okay. Over here to my pan, I'm going to be adding some oil. I have a little bit of leftover oil that I had from frying something up. I forget, but I hope you can see the color. It's not too much. It's about a cup of oil, but I reuse my oil. I know I had a question about that, and I do. I save my oil if it's not too dark, and when it is too dark, I also save that one and I make soap. So try to be as resourceful as possible. So I'm going to pour this in here. And try not to get all that crumbs at the bottom, because the crumbs at the bottom is what burns fast. And that tends to make the oil dark. So just gonna try to pour that in there. And then that's probably trash, or probably, I don't know. I don't think I have a use for that. And then I'm gonna put about an inch or two of oil. Trying to give measurements. So just in case, because when I learned how to cook and stuff like that, I didn't really learn with measurements. I had to just watch. So this is about, I would say about an inch of oil. Okay, so I just got this KitchenAid mixer, and I've never tried to do this before in here. I always just stuck this in my blender. But what we need to do is to save the yolk. So we just want the egg whites right now in the bowl. We're gonna fluff them up. And I'm doing 5 eggs. And we will be using the yolks, so don't throw them away. I think I'm going to start out on low. Seems pretty good. Okay, I'll keep it like that. And I'm gonna go flour the chilies real quick. Okay, to flour the chilies, it's really easy. Just put some flour here. And I'm just going to toss that in there real fast, just so that the egg could get on it better. Just roll these in there. And that's it. Okay, so this is not going a little bit slow. I'm gonna turn it up here. That looks perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the yolks in, and I want to do that by hand just so that it doesn't defluff. You just want to fold this in. So I'm just breaking the yolks. Hope you guys can see this. And then I'm gonna fold this in, trying to do this pretty gently. And the important thing too, that you want to have your oil heated up when you do this, because this will start separating and kind of like deflating a little bit. So make sure that the oil is hot and ready to go before you add the yolks in. That was actually a lot easier in the stand mixer, and I like that I can just add the eggs right into this bowl, because when I put it in the blender I've got to go transfer it. Which is not that big of a deal, but it's nice that I can just do it right here. So that's all really well mixed, and we're gonna start dropping our chilies in.
Sure.
Sure, babe.
Not.
You don't want me to? Why does this look so dark? Okay, I really hope I can show you guys what I'm doing.
What fries in this?
Yeah. So what you want to do is just dip this right into the batter like this. Get everything nice and good on there. And then put it right into the oil. You can see. Take you over to the oil. Put it right in like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this. So here's another one. I'm just going to dip this in here and get that batter onto here. Sorry, baby, as soon as I'm done, I will go check your batteries for the dinosaur, okay? And I'm going to put this right into the batter. Scoop a little bit out, put it on there. Okay, awesome. So these are ready to flip. Whoa!
What's that?
the chile.
Ooh, are you cooking it?
Yes, frying it.
Everybody, we're almost done with these. I don't know how to do it, but you're welcome. And also, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and comment.
I'm so gonna put that in the video.
No, you're not.
Come on, baby. Oh. Hiya. You wanna play exercise? They're just so fat, they don't want to flip over.
Cause they're fat. They're fat. Because I'm fat. You are not alone.
I'm gonna put this all in there.
But what?
All of your singing.
No. You promise that you will?
Sure.
No.
You'll be famous.
I will be famous.
We are going to go pro.
I should do it.
Can you see the salsa on the other side?
No. What? I can move it.
Because I need to...
Okay, now it can. That's the sauce right there, people.
You can see it?
Yep.
Okay, can you see me doing this?
Yep.
Can you see me doing this?
Yep.
Can you see me doing this?
Yep.
Can you see that happening?
Yep.
Can you hear that sizzle?
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Woo! Wow! Fat.
Ready for this? Okay. Ready for this?
Now watch.
It wasn't even recording. Okay. You want to just spoon this on top of here? Para que agarre el sabor. That's what my mama says.
And everybody, a huge shout out to me.
So that's it. Once they're fried up, you can put it on a plate and put the salsa right over it. Some people like it like that, but I like when I put it into the salsa and it just soaks up all of that extra flavor. So that's it. That's the video, guys. I hope that you give this recipe a try. It's really not that complicated, but just follow the steps in order so that way your egg doesn't deflate before it hits the oil. And that's it. I hope you like. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe if you like the channel. And thank you so much for watching.
I needed some non-copyrighted music, but I couldn't find any, so I had to make my own, and I have no idea what I'm doing.